Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show, the Arsenal edition. This is your host, Mitch. I am here with Coach. Hi, Coach. How are you?
Trossard again, ole ole. Trossard again. You're going down. You're going down. You're going down. Okay, so you know, let me just stop. Let me just stop.
I mean, people
That's how
do
I'm
subscribe
feeling.
to the podcast for the singing. It's the guy who does our intro, not what you're doing. But hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Arsenal edition. Holy shit! I am going to die of old age at the age of 34. I think I got 10 years left, and Arsenal will be my cause of death. Holy shit, this fucking team. Alrighty, we're gonna start with our question of the day. Coach, what's your favorite Arsenal victory at London Stadium?
Oh, that is a amazing question. Fuck you know. I've been there for like literally all of our best ones. I'm like certain. Um, I want to say this. I think it's a toss up. It's either the 6-0 or the 2-1 where Holden and Gabriel scored.
Mm.
And the reason why I say that one in particular is that was my first game back watching Arsenal because I took literally almost well over a year off watching Arsenal because of Unai Emery basically. So that was my first game back. So I went to London Stadium and Eddie Nketiah was fantastic that day. He was unreal that day. And we just looked under Arteta. Obviously, we just looked assured. And yeah, that was a good one. But obviously, the 6-0 being behind the goal for Rice's goal, like having the perfect angle of it was just. Oh, what was yours, man? Because I can talk about
I,
these. I've got literally all the
I,
footage as
I,
well. So
the 6-0 is the one I remember the
yeah.
most.
Mm,
So that one's like the easiest. I do think there's like something about us wearing those like ugly ass fucking uniforms, those ugly
mm,
ass tennis ball kits that really got something good out of this Arsenal team because we have a lot of
yeah,
like iconic performances that season wearing those kits.
yeah.
Um, this isn't a victory, so it's not exactly answering the question,
Mm.
but I have a special place in my heart for that. Forget if it was like 3-3 or 4-4 in like 2021. I always think of it as like the Callum Chambers game because he balled the fuck out, and then Odegaard's first game while he was still on loan, where he like
It
kicked
was
ass.
3-3. It was 3-3. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
3-0 down at half time, and Odegaard went to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Like he went, like he said, "All right, guys, whatever you guys do today, you guys can lose, but I'm not." Basically, like
Yep.
he went crazy.
So like that
Like
one's not a win, but it felt like a win
yeah,
because you're if you get a draw being 3-0 down at halftime,
yeah,
that feels like a win. That
yeah,
feels just like a win.
yeah.
And that's how that game felt. Let's get into this game though.
Mm,
I'll make a prediction now. If we have the same question of the day at some point on a different SPS, we're
mm,
not going to be talking about this one. This
mm,
was not a fun game. However, we did start with the same lineup we have seen for the last two. Same one that lined up against Fulham and the same one against Atletico Madrid.
yeah.
So obviously, the things of note being Miles Lewis Skelly in midfield, Gyökeres is up top, Eze is at the 10, with Trossard and Calafiori on the left. How would you feel seeing the same lineup again?
I think it's good. I said on my instant reaction, which you guys should probably pause this now and go watch if you haven't. But I looked at City, and the only changes they've made that I can recall was Rodri out being injured. Basically, that is enforced. And then obviously, I think there was somebody else yesterday. I think Gahey went right centre back, and Ake came. It was Kusanov. That was it, Kusanov. But they haven't made a change to their front five basically in about 2 months, I think, at this point. And that's always a good thing, especially from an attacker's point of view. If you've got something that's working and it's getting you results, keep doing it basically until it breaks. So I think that was. I think I'm a big fan of that late in the season as well. Once the team presents itself, go with it and make adjustments where you can. So I was fine with that, to be honest. If there was one thing I was thinking, I did say, and my friend said it to me, as I was like, this felt like an Odegaard game to start, and I would have been happy with Ezart playing on the left. I really would have been happy with that as well. I think he would have done a lot more than what he did today, even though he did try. But outside of that, I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I think you've just got to keep riding the hot hand for as long as possible. I think those last two
Perfect
games were
phrase.
two of the best performances that we've had in a long, long time.
Yeah,
So there's just no reason to change anything.
yeah,
I think, barring any injuries, that should be the starting lineup every single game. Granted, we'll get into it. Of
yeah.
course, it's Arsenal. We had injuries today. Um, we Rice yet again was booed at London Stadium. It baffles me on why that is. You guys are not in the relegation zone because Declan Rice decided to leave. You are in the relegation zone because your club management decided to spend that money poorly.
Hmm.
He did not. He did everything he could for that club. He won a fucking European trophy with them, and yet they
Hmm.
boo him. It's insane to me. And I feel like this is a good tee up of, hey, you were at the game. Don't West Ham fans suck?
Yeah, you guys are probably sick of hearing this from me, but pound for pound, they're the worst home fans in the league. They just are. They literally just are. Like I can't stress to you just how bad they are. They barely sing, and when they do, they're singing uh in response to essentially getting onto the opposition team. They barely support their players. You get 2 minutes into a game and they're already calling half of their team dog shit and just calling them everything but a child of God, basically. Um, and I think what makes it worse, well, usually I sit in the home end, but today I was in the away end, and you really actually get to see like where Arsenal fans are bringing the atmosphere. Like you can actually see it. Like we're the ones bringing the atmosphere, and they're the ones essentially just the ones nearest to us are just responding to us. But the only reason why they're responding is because we're singing. Um, but yeah, they just suck, and you know that part of London particularly is notorious for a few unsavory things. But yeah, racism is one of them for sure. And yeah, there was definitely some of that today. Absolutely some of that today. I don't want to say I was a victim of it per se, even though it was definitely directed towards me, but I'm not a victim. They are. But yeah, you would never think you'd see a Nazi salute at a football game in 2026. So there was that. You wouldn't think that people would be with barely any sort of command of the English language telling me and the others around us to learn how to speak English properly. It was just a weird experience in that regard, and I'm so glad, so glad that we're sending them down because it's good riddance, man. I hope they never come back.
Enjoy the fucking championship in your vacuumous stadium that is bad and on a racetrack.
Yeah.
Uh, Arsenal started the game well. I think generally for the first 20 minutes before a big event happens,
Mm.
we played well. Um, we had a couple big chances. Calafiori had a nice chance. It was a
Mm.
great pass from Trossard to set it up. And he takes just like a little too long to figure out what he wants to do before it goes out for a corner. Trossard gets two headers on a corner. Neither go in. And a couple other fluid moves. But how are you feeling on how we started, how this lineup looked?
Um, First things first. West Ham looked springy, so they were getting around, but they were forcing us to probably play in a way that wasn't at our own pace. They were forcing us to rush quite a few things, which is fine. But then I think we got to grips with it a little bit. So yeah, I felt good. Like Raya barely had anything to do in the opening exchanges, which is always a good sign away from home, I think. Um, but yeah, the ball was moving for sure. I did notice pretty quickly though, and it was a feature of the game that usually if Arsenal are playing well, Saka's getting a lot of the ball, and that wasn't happening. Um, so I was thinking, yeah, we're still gearing up, to really start playing. But that was the one thing I noticed straight away that Saka wasn't really getting that much of the ball.
Yeah. Despite that, we were creating a lot of chances. I think we had like around 7 shots to their 0 in the first 15 or so minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We started really bright. I think a moment that a trait that I liked because it frustrated me, and I don't know if this really applies to like the last two games that we've played, but the games prior to that, like especially like the Bournemouth game, we were
Mm-hmm.
very very bad at winning second balls, and I felt like we were going long with better effectiveness. And so much of that is I feel like Victor Jokeres has all of a sudden learned how to like touch a football. Like he all of a sudden has a touch to him and has like
Yeah,
a certain finesse that we just have not seen
yeah,
for the last 6 months. And I think that it's so much of it has just been he's gotten time to be able to gel with his teammates, and I feel like they're all kind of playing on the same page now, especially him and Eze. I feel
Yeah.
like the two of them have worked really, really well together over the last 4 or 5 matches,
Hmm.
and so everything was going pretty well for Arsenal, which meant, of course, an injury had to happen, and I
Yeah.
feel like this kind of derailed the game for us. Ben White goes down hurt. It looked pretty fucking bad.
He was limping in front of us, and his face, I could see on his face the way he was wincing. Like he looked like he was in a lot of pain.
Yeah, Arteta's comments after the game did not make it seem like it is hopeful about
Hmm.
how he's looking, which is really, really devastating. And it sucks to lose him,
Hmm.
and then it also sucks how Arteta responded, because
Yeah.
I think this was one of the worst managerial decisions he has made all season,
Hmm.
um, and that is bringing Martin Zubimendi on for him instead of bringing Mascara on for him,
Yeah.
because he created a situation where Rice is playing right back and our midfield is worse and our back line is worse.
Hmm.
He's now created like a situation where both parts of our team have gotten worse, and we just failed to look comfortable until we made more changes later in the game. What did you make of this change?
I 100% agree. I couldn't. I was so confused. Like I knew it was Rice going right back. I was thinking, maybe he's put Zubimendi there, and we're gonna lean into Zubimendi just inverting a lot. But then I was like, actually, no, Rice will probably down that. I forgot who they had running down that side, but thinking Rice is probably a better physical match than whoever they had running down. Was it Somerville? It was
Somerville,
Somerville. Yeah, it was Somerville. Yeah.
who hurt Rice and also hurt
Yeah.
Odegaard earlier in the season.
Yeah, literally, I remember looking down on the knee collision, thinking, "Oof, that looks horrible." Um, yeah, I wasn't a fan of it, to be honest. I really wasn't a fan of it, and I was just like, we've actively like destabilized ourselves, and with the way that the game was going, I felt like it was only a matter of time before we was going to get a goal, and then that just killed any chance of that. Like
Mm-hmm.
Rice and Saka do not have any sort of relationship on that side of the pitch, like with Rice overlapping or anything like that. They just don't. And when you have the person that understands you most outside of Odegaard gone, then that obviously contributes to Saka not obviously getting on the game. And yeah, it was just I just think it was a bad move. With that being said, I don't think Zubameni was actually bad when he came on. Actually, to be fair, I think the ball actually moved pretty well through him, but we were a worse side because Rice was out of midfield. So,
Yeah. And I feel like so much of what Miles has done since coming into midfield is like has made Zubimendi a little bit redundant. Not redundant, like
mm,
that has kind of a stronger connotation
mm,
than I'm meaning, because like I don't think it's like, oh, we got to sell Zubimendi, because
yeah,
like why the fuck would I say that? But I think Miles has done the job that Zubimendi was doing at the beginning of the season. I think he's
mm,
now just like kind of knackered,
mm,
and so having both of them in midfield, I felt like our midfield balance wasn't there, our defensive balance wasn't there.
mm.
Not much else happens in the half. There's a Tati Castellanos header that Raya saves, and
Let me tell you something. That save, oh my god!
Raya, oh my god.
I thought like, gosh, I thought it was in, but his reactions are something else. Like I don't know what I don't know. Like for me, he is absolutely like on form this season. At least he's the best goalkeeper in Europe. Like
Yep.
for me, this like, I don't feel like there's been anyone better than. I think it's our 31st clean sheet of the season, guys. It's our 31st clean sheet of the season. I don't know how else to contextualize that. We have played how many games?
50 something.
Yeah, we've played. I think this is our. Well, this might be our sixth. No, this is our 60th, no, 61st game of the season or 60th game. No, it's our 60th game of the season.
Jesus, I'm
So,
tired hearing that. I'm just tired
so
hearing that.
we're averaging a clean sheet every other game. Every other game, we're averaging a clean sheet. Yeah,
Yeah.
Darren Wright is clear. Darren
I
Wright,
think if, for me, he's Arsenal's player of the season.
mm,
Like he has just been consistently week in and
mm,
week out great. And I don't think that Arsenal are in the place that they are without him, because he
no,
has
not at all.
not only been so consistent, but he's been so consistently great in the big moments.
Yep.
Like in the moments where we need him to make a save. We'll get to another big Raya save later in this match. he's always there and always up for it in the same way that a striker's there and always up for it, but it's always on him and he always is able to do it. He is such a great player and the reason that we are in this spot.
Do you know?
Um,
Do you know? There was a moment in the first half as well. I forgot. I think somebody down their right hand side. So yeah, down the right hand side was running towards our goal. No, actually, that's a lie. It was Somerville who had a shot who curled it wide, and Gabriel was having a go at him, and he's giving it back, kind of thing. And I don't know who's in the right and the wrong because the angle I'm watching from, I can't really see the bigger picture. But there's a level of competitiveness and willingness to always be better that they have. Where it's not like it doesn't feel like or look like um they're at odds with each other and there's a bit of a mess. It's almost like I know how good you are, do not fall below that, basically. And they're both just giving, and it looked as if they were right on the same page. They were just annoyed that they managed to get a shot off, basically. And I think that's always good. It's one thing, playing well and just feeling good. It's like, no, we're playing well. We've allowed a chance. Let's make sure that doesn't happen again, kind of thing. And it's just keeping each other sharp, keeping each other, motivated and whatever else. And I really, really appreciate it. Like it was quite heated, to be honest, but it wasn't heated in a bad way. It was just like we need to be on this shit, basically. So yeah, I was really pleased with that.
100%. We get to halftime. It's 0-0. I personally was not feeling great because I did not like how the way that we closed that half. How were you feeling in the stadium? How were like the fans around you feeling
Yeah, I was
at
actually
0-0?
by the end of the first half, like we just sat there and I was talking to a few people and just like, just one goal will do it, guys. Like it's one of those games, one goal will do it. Like we just just one goal, like because it was just annoying because the first half of the first half was like, okay, we're feeling good, we're getting into it. We scored fives and sixes there before. Do you know what I mean? It's only a matter of time. And then the White injury happens, and then by the end of it, we're like, do you know what? It's we're glad that it's half time. Not because we're under pressure, but it's like let's let Arteta get into these boys basically and go again, and that's not a bad place to be, but I would have liked to have gone in like feeling better about the game, even if it was still 0-0. But I didn't have the best feeling at halftime, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think we played well enough to give anyone a good feeling going into halftime.
Mm,
I think especially was worrying seeing how much Arteta I think fucked up that sub
mm,
of like how much worse we looked with White because I think this is a much different game if he goes like for like immediately and just
yeah,
brings a mascara. I think we maybe go into the halftime leading,
yeah,
and we don't have to wait until the 80 plus minute to get a goal.
yeah.
So it was frustrating, but it was great coming out of the half, seeing that Arteta fixed his choice.
Mm-hmm,
Granted, I think he was forced into it a little bit
mm-hmm,
because we have now learned that Calafiori also was injured, and that is why he was the one that made way for Mascara to start the second half. So Mascara moved to right back, Miles Lewis Skelly moved to left back, Rice moved back to midfield. A little bit more normal of an Arsenal looking 11, but still, I mean, just losing both White and Calafiori is so fucking brutal. And I know we can win the next two games without them, but we need them back for the Champions League final.
yeah. I'm actually shocked that. Actually, I wouldn't say I'm shocked, but Hincapié hasn't started the last three games. Did he come on? He came on against Atleti, no problem.
Yeah,
Did he come on against Fulham? I don't think he did. He didn't come on against Fulham, actually, if I remember correctly. I don't think he did.
I don't know.
And while I'm not saying that I'm shocked that Miles didn't actually stay on, kind of thing, but today could have been a day for Nkapie. But also because of how good he is defensively, I feel like that would have maybe seeded a bit more um, common, not seeded a bit more initiative to West Ham. So maybe that was a good thing that he didn't come on. But I'm actually shocked that today he didn't. I didn't see him at all. Actually,
I read that as not wanting to punish Miles
yeah,
for Arteta's mistake.
maybe, maybe,
Um, of like there was an injury. I want to move back to midfield. I'm not going to take Zumendi out already because I just brought him on.
mm,
But I don't want to punish Miles for wanting to bring Rice back into midfield. So I'm going to keep Miles on the pitch. Like Nkapia coming on is fine. If Arteta had made the right choice immediately, I bet Nkapia comes on at halftime for Calafiori if Calafiori's hurt. And like we don't bring Zubimendi on in that situation.
Mm.
But I don't know. It's all speculation. I'm glad that Arteta was willing to realize what he didn't work immediately, though.
Yeah.
Like, that was encouraging, and realizing, no, this was bad and I need to fix this. We immediately looked a little bit better with Rice in midfield. We still didn't. I think West Ham did a really good job of dragging us to their level. I think they're good at doing that.
Yeah, making it a
And
scrap.
Arsenal, I think one of our weaknesses this year has been that we have been able to be drawn into other teams' level. Like, we
Mm.
were playing really beautifully in the first 20 minutes, and then we got drawn into a rock fight when Ben White got hurt,
Hmm.
and we didn't ever really pull up from the nosedive.
No.
Eventually we started like, I mean, I thought West Ham was going to hurt another player the way that they
Mm.
were tackling in this
Yeah.
game. How were you feeling, like, seeing how they were going into challenges?
But the thing is, I knew this. I knew the reason why they did that. First and foremost, is that West Ham, this West Ham team, I don't feel like are super nasty. But obviously, then a relegation dogfights that will happen, and I don't think Nuno is that sort of coach to send these players out to do that. But once a player does a crazy tackle and the ref allows it, that's it. The ref has created an environment where the players know they can get away with, leaving a bit extra on their tackles now. So I blame the ref more than anything. Like, I think it was Mosquera got a yellow for his first foul.
Yeah.
He got a yellow for his first foul, and I was so annoyed and so confused. But then it's Kavanaugh, isn't it? Kavanaugh is the wanker that sent off Rice. He's the one that also gave the penalty against Saliba on Yao Pedro when it was like just not a penalty. So I knew that was going to happen. But yeah, those tackles for me are all the referee's responsibility. Once you allow one or two to go, they know they're not getting booked for it. So they'll just keep going until someone gets literally decapitated. And maybe even then you might just give them a talking to. So
Yep, 100%. Uh, it was a tough running for Arsenal to start the half.
mm,
A couple Saka shots go wide and high.
mm,
Not great shots from him. Felt like he was kind of playing some hero ball, which, again, is Bukayo Saka. I can't
mm,
blame him for doing that. I want him to be taking
mm,
shots like that. I just want him to, look a little better while he does it. Um, 68th minute, we make a double sub. Odegaard and Havertz came on for Eze Zubimendi. Zubimendi coming on early and leaving early is tough, because I don't think he played poorly to deserve that, but I think
mm.
both changes that were made were game state wise. Like, him coming on originally was a mistake, and then when we wanted to make a change, he was the most likely to be taken off. And
Yeah.
I don't think that says anything about how he is as a player, but obviously, anytime you come on and don't finish the game is always looks bad. But what'd you make of that?
Honestly, I'm not thinking of Zubimendi because I think fortunately he's one of those people, like you've got that guy at work that he's level of empathy and I suppose social awareness for his sort of colleagues is so high that Arteta probably doesn't even have to explain to him why he took him off. Like, he just gets it, kind of
Yeah,
thing. So I feel like, and that makes the decision a lot easier for the coach, and it makes it a lot easier for the dressing room as well. Like, Zubimendi, I don't think is going to lose any sleep tonight. He's walking away with 3 points and most likely a league title at the very least at the end of the season. So he's not going to care if he got subbed on or subbed off in the 36th game of the season. Like, he's not actually going to care. Other players might, but I feel like he's one of those players that won't, just from looking at his demeanor. So that was my first thought of thinking there. But also, it was the correct decision anyway. It was generally the correct decision. If we want to get back into the game, is Zubimendi going to cover as much ground as Rice in transition because we're going for it? No. Is he going to be able to drive the ball at Rice? No. Is he great at second balls? Great, but Rice is better, kind of thing. But then we can get an actual proper attacking midfielder on, well, more attacking than Zubimendi at least, to get on the pitch, and he can get Havertz on the pitch as well. So Odegaard has a great relationship with Havertz, kind of thing. He's got a great relationship with the right hand side in general. It's a no brainer to me. So yeah, it was a correct decision, and I have no issues with it.
yeah, I absolutely agree. I wanted to see those two players getting ready. It was great that they were. I think this was a huge performance from Martin Odegaard
Yeah,
in a game where, I don't think he played poorly, but didn't do all that much. Um, I think that this is Odegaard's kind of comeback performance, hopefully, and hopefully he can continue to build on it. Because he was very impactful, very, very good, and exactly like what we needed in this moment. Um, uh, we had another goal mouth scramble. Mavropanos cleared it off the line. There was a potential handball. VAR cleared it. That I think would have been unfair to give as a penalty. So I think probably for the best that they didn't give it. He was
No,
like fully on the
somebody
ground.
said in the crowd, two people said in the crowd, they were like, he scooped it. Like, but I haven't seen a replay, but they were saying he
No,
scooped. Yeah, okay.
he's like fully laying on the ground and it like hits his arm, but like
Okay.
there's just not much he can do because he's fully laying on the ground.
Mm.
I don't think this is anything. I think we can very much move on to
Yeah.
from it. Now we get to a play that I aforementioned, and David Raya, huge save on Fernandez attempt at a one-on-one finish. Holy shit, David
You know what,
Raya.
yeah. As we're talking about it now, I'm gonna look for the save now, to be honest, because I haven't seen it, and everyone keeps talking about it, but I just haven't seen. Oh, oh my goodness! Oh my, oh my god! This guy.
Yeah.
I'm getting butterflies and nervous looking at it again because how was
That should have lost us the title right there. Like that play
yeah.
should have lost us the title, and he made that save.
Oh my goodness! Sorry, I'm just watching it. What? He's through. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, man. You know, normally when they talk about, oh yeah, like goalkeepers not really earning their clean sheets because you know they've got great defenders in front of them, so they're not really conceding that many shots. Nah, man, just look at that. Just look at that. Wow, wow, wow.
Very, very impressive from David Raya and keeps us in this game. Very huge. Shortly after, we make our final sub, which is Nani Madueke for Bakayo Saka. I don't know if Saka had the best game. I
No.
like that Arteta is just fearless with his subs at this point. Of like, no one's safe from a sub.
Yep.
And I like the idea of bringing on Nani because he's someone that can, take the ball, create some danger, anything can happen. And then shortly after, Leandro fucking Trossard puts the Arsenal up 1-0. Beautiful, beautiful assist from Martin Odegaard, like vintage Martin Odegaard. Great ball from Havertz to even get it to him. Great finish from Trossard. I ran around my apartment screaming. Holy shit! What was it? Bedlam in the away end?
Yeah, I think if I had a counter on me, a hug counter on me, I think I might have given out 150 hugs today. I might have received 1,000 hugs. I want to say, like, it was. Oh man, look, there was. I don't know. I've been to a lot of fucking football games. I've seen absolute madness, and I think this one moment here is the first time I can remember where I literally I gave myself to the moment. Literally, I celebrated and I was just still. I was just like, oh, I was looking up, I could just feel everyone's energy. Pause, and it was genuinely the moment of the season for me personally. Like, genuinely, it was my personal moment of the season so far, because we still got a few coming in the Champions League, I believe, but it was when usually, right, away games, away games always feel a lot more intimate because there's less of you, so it's more of a us against them and it's blah blah blah, whatever kind of thing. So cool, no problem. But this genuinely felt like it was us against the country. It genuinely felt like that. And it's been like that for a minute, because obviously West Ham kind of thing. But everybody wants West Ham to take points off us, kind of thing. Everybody kind of wants Tottenham to go down as well. So there's that added layer as well. But us defying that, it was just a release of emotion, a release of just relief. I think the emotion is actually, and this is the first time I think I could say it this season, but an emotion of actual relief, but not relief at us potentially winning the title. I think of just relief on the day because I've had a funny feeling in my stomach since this morning anyway, and it didn't go. It literally didn't go until pretty much after we scored. So yeah, it was an incredible moment, man. Seriously, an absolutely incredible moment.
Yeah, I think it's an encapsulation of Trossard's time with Arsenal,
Oh yeah,
of like someone who scores in those kinds of moments. Like
yeah,
he is going to be thought of very fondly 10 years from now as like his
for,
time with
for
the
sure.
club and what he did to bring us a title.
Yeah,
Because we are gonna fucking win a title, guys. We're
yeah.
about to fucking win a title.
Can can we talk about the captain though? Because
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, look, he hasn't had the best season from a personal standpoint. Like he just hasn't. But this shouldn't like take away from what he's given this club so far. And what, to be honest, what I hope he potentially can give in the future as well. But you look at moments in the season where it's like who stood up, like at the point where we needed it most, where it was the most critical moment of the season, where it was essentially we've got up the mountain now, so now it's essentially just can we actually stay there? Can we actually plant our flag? And Martin Odegaard planted our flag today. He did. He literally planted our flag today. What he did in those 15 minutes, however it was long for was what you'd expect of the captain of Arsenal Football Club. You take the game by the scruff of the neck. I don't know how it came across to you, but he was flying everywhere. He was flying in. He wasn't ducking out of challenges. Like he was flying into challenges. There was a
Mhm.
ball we played to Madueke. It was just the weight of it, and Madueke put in a quite a good low cross as well. I think the goalkeeper anticipated quite well. But when you talk about asserting your dominance on a game, like there's plenty of ways to do it. Rice has his own way of doing it. Back in the day, Steven Gerrard had his own way. Like captains have their ways of doing things, and Odegaard asserted his dominance on this game in the way that he can, and it was devastating. It was absolutely devastating. And regardless of what has happened this season with Odegaard, in the most critical moment of our league season, because let's be honest here, if we drew today, while we could put 10 past Burnley kind of thing, there isn't a certainty that we win the league. Odegaard made sure that at the very least, we like there's a certainty that we're in control of our destiny. So I'll go back and say again, he planted our flag at the top of the mountain today. Like it's that simple. Like, and he's the captain of our football club, and he did that. A lot of people doubted whether he still had it in him, kind of thing. I'm not being funny. Like today is more than enough evidence. Everybody else was there. They were doing whatever had to be done, but he came on and he was the one. He was the one that won us that game, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, 100%. Uh, while we're talking about the goal, I do want to talk about we have a new public enemy number one.
Mm,
Everyone, keep your eyes out. There's an Arsenal fan who appeared on TV
mm,
with a Arsenal jersey with champions printed on the back of it. As far as
mm.
I know, it is not the type of champions jersey you could buy for the women winning the Champions League last year. I think this guy just got it printed. And holy shit, ban him from the Emirates. No.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Can you
Get
can
the
you send me a
fuck
picture
out
of
of
him
here.
because I will be patrolling. I will be patrolling. I will be that.
Unreal. Like fucking like, crazy. Like as soon as the ball went in for the goal that was later disallowed, I immediately thought of that guy. I'm like, that it's his fault. It is 100% his fault. Don't let him in the fucking stadium again.
Yeah,
Don't let him in the fucking stadium. Don't be doing this shit. Talk all you want. I'm gonna say all I want that Arsenal are gonna be champions. Getting $100 jersey printed with champions on the back is fucking crazy. Don't do it. Don't show it on TV. You're a fucking moron.
yeah.
Um,
I'm not happy with that. It's bold as hell, but I'm not happy about that.
yeah, real bad. What did you think of Declan Rice's passing in the final third today?
Yeah, yeah. This is that's something I actually picked up on. So first of all, there was a turn that he made where he's fated to go one way and gone the other and turned back in field. And I was just like, good lord, you're like 6'2" and you're moving like that. Like, is there nothing that you can't do, man? Um, But yeah, I mean, there was a pass he played to Saka, which Saka I think was offside for, which was just unreal. But there was a couple of those little cute passes in and around the box. I was like, yes, man, this is you're becoming you are already so complete, and you're still adding more strings to your bow. You've got a few more clubs in your golf sort of bag. Not like you're doing it all, man. That I'm never ever gonna be um underwhelmed by Declan Rice. I don't think he's just got too much to his game. Seriously, I think that the little cute passes today in a game like today, I think he was just yeah. He's finding ways to impress me even more and
Yep.
more.
100%. It was very impressive. Um, 6 minutes at a time. Callum Wilson comes on for West Ham. They immediately get a chance, or they get a chance 4 minutes in. Huge block by Gabriel. And it was another horrifying moment, but a big moment for the Arsenal defense that comes up big.
That block, honestly, yeah, that block. We just stood there in silence, like fuck. Not like oh my gosh, Gabriel's great. It was just like a fuck, like shit kind of thing. Like it's one of those ominous sort of blocks. Is like yeah, if we don't get hold of the ball soon, we'll probably concede. Like
Yeah.
so, and that came after the Raya save as well.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of how we tried to see this game out. I don't think we kept the ball very well. We gave West Ham a lot of the ball. And then it leads to dangerous situations like the one we're about to talk about, which was they score, West Ham scores, and VAR after a long check calls it off because David Raya was fouled. You are going to see a lot of talk about this week. All of it's going to be bullshit. That was a foul. There's 2 fouls on David Raya there. Like his jersey's getting pulled. That's probably not enough. His arm is fully getting held. That is enough to overturn a goal. And I think it was absolutely the correct choice by VAR and a correct application of it. In the moment waiting for it to get announced, I think I said in my apartment, I'm going to kill myself like 14 times. Because that was devastating. Just a devastating gut punch, and then, oh my god, a huge break. What was the vibe like in the away section?
So basically, I spent a lot of time after the goal. Actually, was quite a bit of time in the first half. You know, giving it to the away fans, doing the old, you know, saying you're going down, all of that, just giving it to them. And then for the section up until we scored, I mellowed out despite them trying to, you know, get a rise out of me or whatever else. And then we scored, and then I went nuts. And then they scored, and then I sat down in my seat, my head in my hands, and I was like, I can't believe this. And then I stood up, I was like, surely that's VAR. Surely they got VAR. And I started praying, guys. Praying over football is the most useless and most embarrassing thing I think I've ever done. And I pray, I genuinely do pray I don't have to do that again. But this club has really, really pushed me. And then I see the VAR screen come up, and then we all let out a big cheer. And then they're checking. And then the guy in front of us, because we don't know, obviously, in the stadium, you're the last to know kind of thing. People at home knowing it, what they're actually checking. And then the guy in front of us, he's like, I think he's working with Sky at least. He's got like his headphones on, but I think he's an Arsenal fan. And he's like, oh, foul on RAYA, foul on RAYA. He gives us a thumbs up. So we get a bit excited, get a bit excited. There's a bit of a cheer. I don't know if that came across on the TV. And then they're still checking. I think, oh my gosh, it's Graham Kavanagh. It's a long time now. He's probably going to fuck us now. And then he actually, you know, starts the announcement. And then it is just, yeah. There's a bit of an Easter egg here for you guys. If you go into the Sky Sports Instagram, you will see me on their latest post when they're looking at the well, it won't be the latest post by the time you look at it, but you'll see them filming the Arsenal fans waiting for the decision, and you can see me literally on the edge filming Graham Kavanagh. And then the moment we get the announcement, I turn immediately to the away fans and start giving it to them again. So that's how it went. But I have to stress you, Mitch. You saying you wanted to essentially remove yourself from this plane of the living. I wouldn't say I felt that way, but I think it was the most tension I felt this season and possibly under this Arteta reign. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
I truly wanted to crawl out of my skin most of this game. Like 85% of this game, I wanted to crawl out of my fucking skin.
Yeah.
It was horrible. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
Yeah.
Incredible jubilation in 2 moments, and that is Trossard winning and the game being over.
Yeah.
And then the game was over. Arsenal won 1-0. Holy fucking shit. Oh my, we're gonna win the fucking title.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fucking shit. Also, guys, I do have to soapbox this for a second because it's been a second since I've been on the pod, and I need to use this opportunity to tell you all that you all need to start watching these games in Spanish. You just need to. Like all of you, like I'm
on
now
mute. Watch it on mute as well.
Yeah. So here's my pitch on why I love watching in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me every single thing that I want out of soccer commentary without actually knowing what the fuck they're saying. Because I love the energy of soccer commentary of like raising your voice when there's like something exciting happening.
Yep.
But I have no idea what they're saying, and I don't have to listen to Lee Dixon, which I think is the biggest pitch I can give you. Is guys, you can watch Arsenal games without listening to Lee Dixon, and life's better over here. Mm-hmm. I recommend it. You should do it. It's way more chill, and I'm already stressed out during Arsenal games. Mm-hmm. I don't need Graham Lasso saying, "Oh, Arsenal fans look stressed out." I don't care. I don't fucking care. Shut the fuck up. So I'm only watching in Spanish or on mute from now on. And my life has gotten significantly better, and I really suggest you all to do too, because Lee Dixon's a miserable fucking asshole.
Yeah. Can I just support that point there as well and say that you should also watch the games with your mobile telephone device in another room, locked in a safe at the bottom of the ocean, because you will not only actually understand the game better, you will not be what you're observing will not be diluted with the bullshit you see on TV, basically. Because I feel like in this fan base more than others, a lot of people are watching these games, but they're literally watching these games via the timeline rather than what's obvious in front of you. And I'm not talking about today, because today wasn't the most comfortable game for Arsenal per se, but you could have watched that Fulham game with your phone and think, oh shit, Arsenal should have scored 6 in that first half rather than 3. You'd feel worse, basically, despite us that Fulham first half being completely and utterly out of this world. So I hope my point is quite clear there. But yeah, I think we need to get back to being fans and observing our team objectively. Like, the best way I can put it is, do not let the internet ruin your perception of this team, and do not let, especially, forget rival fans, but other Arsenal fans that are just miserable wankers anyway, do not let them ruin your perception of this team and of these players as well, because that's how you end up, with people having like special agendas against our captain or Saka or whatever else. It's just fucking weird, and it doesn't have. It's not real conversations that happen in real life. So yeah, I hope I'm clear here, and yeah, Mitch is absolutely right. Ignore any Western media's voices on the commentary. Just ignore them.
Yep, 100%. Guys, we're gonna win the fucking Premier League, and maybe we'll fuck around and win the Champions League too.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for listening. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. We appreciate you all. Coach, you know what to say.
Peace. We're winning the double, guys.
Peace.